Well, I've been doing concerts here. I've done 2 performances of the Elgar Concerto and a concert with piano as well. So, yeah, I've just been here a few days.
Very nice. I tell you what it is about you that mesmerises me. I love my piano. I've got one in my flat, and whenever I'm at a low ebb, that's what saves me. I just wish I was as into it as you were, because I look at your face when you're playing. It takes you to a totally different place, doesn't it?
Well, I suppose it does. I mean, you try to get into the heart of what the composer's trying to say and deliver that as clearly as you can to the audience. I think that's really what I try to do.
And of course, you come from a musical family. When do you feel you've made it, or do you still think you're learning?
I think you learn all the time. Every concert you do, you learn something. And as I said, I try to convey very clearly what I think composers were trying to say. And I think you can always learn new ways of doing that and try to be more direct in your approach. I always think the greatest musicians, I mean, you said proper music. I don't, at the beginning, and I think there's wonderful musicians in all areas of music. I've been very lucky to work with some great people outside classical music. But, some of the greatest performers, when you hear them on record, even if they were really, really young, they had that gift of communicating. Even if you couldn't see them on stage, you can hear it through their music, and I think that's what I'm always striving to do.
Is there certain types of music that push your buttons better than others? Because obviously you're well known for the classical stuff, but that's so general in itself, isn't it? Because there's hard classical, there's...
Classical music as a term is becoming, it's increasingly meaningless, really, because you're talking about 700 years of music in huge numbers of different styles, and, a lot of the more recent music, composers like Philip Glass, who've written for films and stuff, you can't really categorize it anymore.
In terms of your live show, the reaction from the audience, does that matter to you? Is it the same as playing in your flat somewhere, or does that give you an extra kick?
I think because music is about communicating with people, that it's always great to have a live audience. I think it's a wonderful way of expressing yourself and hopefully people trying to find out what you're about. I mean, I found myself saying to someone the other day, please don't listen to what I have to say, listen to me playing, because I think they get more sense of what I'm about.
I don't know how to say this, but this tour is to mark your 60th birthday. I mean, you're knocking on a bit now, Julian. Who'd have thought that'd have happened?
Say that. Well, I mean, this is life, isn't it? You'll get there in the end.
How's that Andrew doing? I mean, he's pretty good at doing musicals, isn't he?
Yes, and I think his talent shows have been brilliant. I think they've... I wish we could do the same for classical music. I think there's fantastic talent out there, but unfortunately we don't get to hear all of it, and I think we could miss people like that. I mean, one thing his programs have done is, give opportunities to really good performers, and I just don't think they'd have had that otherwise.
I worry when I see people like Russell Watson or Kira DeConnor or any of those people, because of course they've got to sing and therefore have to be in good health. Can you go on stage and fake it when you're not feeling good? Because of course you're not singing, are you?
Well, you can try, but you need to feel good, and it's hard work. I mean, the concert I did with the piano over here, it's nearly 2 hours of playing, and to be honest, if you're not feeling good, you're not going to play your best.
In terms of your physicality, you've got to be fit because, as you say, it's very energetic what you do, and you're so into it. What's harder for you, the physical strain or the mental strain of getting through the show?
I think it's the concentration. I mean, I've never had any physical problems, luckily. So I must be fairly fit, because you are out there for a couple of hours on your own, and it is physically demanding. It's not so much that, it's all the travelling, really. And I mean, I should have learned the piccolo, because travelling with the cello is tough.
How does it travel? Do you have another seat next to you where you strap it in?
Well, I'm very fortunate to play on a magnificent Stradivarius cello, so I can't let it go in the hold. It's, I don't think of it as my cello or even my bank manager's cello. I think of it as, I'm looking after it till the next person has it, and so I can't allow something like that to go in the hold of an airplane.
Julian Lloyd Webber, can we do this properly another time and get you on and talk about your life, because you are so into music, and I'd love to find out more.
Brilliant.
Really nice to talk to you. What an honour. Julian Lloyd Webber.